Well, let me tell you something, brother. Welcome to the Real Weird Sickos podcast. My name is Charles Kahn. I am not the mean buddy, not your mean bro, not your mean best friend, not the mean bedfellow, and certainly not Memento. I am the mean bastard. With me, as always, is my co-hostess with the mostest, Dojens, Jenna. Hi, Jenna.
Welcome to our alt-right podcast.
Whoa. I disavow, Jenna. Disavow, disavow.
Whoa! I'm headed out, dude. What the fuck?
Let's restart that
No.
intro.
No, sir. You
Ixnay
are
on the
Aryan as
alt-right
well.
nay. No, we're not. Speak for
pipeline.
yourself. I am
Whoa! I am
Guess what?
proud.
I'm a
we are the
pineapple
plot line.
American.
How do you feel about that as an Aryan?
With us is our special friend Mudahar. Hi, Muda. Some ordinary gamers.
Hey, it's going. I knew that's why the Unsub podcast really wanted me on there. So yeah, makes sense now.
Some Aryan gamers.
Hell yeah, dude.
Yeah,
Just rip the
Mudahar
Band-Aid
is
off,
known
change
for
your
his white Jesus Christ, his white nationalism.
Absolutely. Just standing up for my people.
Yeah, which is Canada, not America.
Oh, that's a whole nother can of worms.
Yeah, that's a whole other can of worms.
Because you'll have like the racist side that'll go in his replies and tell him he's not really Canadian and he should be deported.
Damn right I'm not. Have you seen my passport?
Yes, it's Canadian.
How many Maple
that
Leafs
birth country's
must a man
something.
have?
That birth country's got too many syllables for Canada.
How
But
many
you
Maple
still
Leafs
literally-
must a man have before he is Canadian?
I don't know, but I mean, it's been an interesting couple of weeks.
Everybody's called you every name under the book. They've implied that you are the worst of the worst. How does it feel, Jenna? Welcome to my world. Make a joke one time, and obviously that's your opinion forever. Especially if it was a years-old joke that you made one time, offhanded. That is clearly how you always feel forever. And especially jokes. That's the most serious thing that a person can ever post is a joke offhanded.
Oh yeah, like, and can we just I have to spike the ball a little bit, just a little bit, because they started picking, like, this group started picking at the fact that if you don't know, like, r/YouTube drama, which is just filth of the internet.
Bro, I love
That's
that
scum and
pack.
villainy. They make the
It's
Cinemaster
funny.
Truth guys look nice.
It's really funny. So because I made a couple of, like, I liked a couple of tweets talking about how I don't know, like, I'm an Aryan Nazi, whatever, like that. I was like, yeah, just call me your Aryan queen or something like that. Then they were like, oh, that proves it. That proves that she liked it.
Disavow.
She liked it. Which, like, obviously I'm not. But
These are the
I
guys
also-
that would look at Norm Macdonald's 9/11 like jokes and be like, "Yeah, see, he really hates America."
Oh yeah, 9/11 there. Remember 9/11?
Dude, I love that scene. I've been watching that all day, where he's like 9/11.
God,
You've been
somebody
watching
posted.
it for more than one day.
Somebody bumped up his roast jokes from a few years ago. I don't even know who he was roasting. It might have been the Bob Saget one, where he just starts reading off all these old-timey jokes.
Yeah.
I love it. I love
Like
it.
he had one
And
that goes, I wish you well, and that I wish you would fall into a well where you'll die.
I made a joke. They dug up one where, like, if you're not up to date on, like, the tipster memes
I'm
and the
not.
drama.
I don't know anything about Tipster other than
made-
he's the
I
fattest
made-
man on all of YouTube. He's
I,
like
uh,
Boogie. He's like a worse Boogie to give you an idea of where
He's
this
not.
guy's
Well,
at.
Here's the thing. Boogie
And he's
actually.
into like weird stuff now. He
Well,
admitted he was
Boogie had
pansexual, right?
Boogie has actually had, like, success on YouTube, though, whereas Tipster
Had.
really hasn't.
No, let the record
That's
show
what I said. He's had it
had.
before, so he's not even quite on Boogie's level with that. But I made a joke because he's friends with Keppels. When he got rid of the commentary bros, he became friends with Keppels, and because he's such an impressionable child and, like, a middle school girl that goes around flopping from group to group. I posted a person with makeup that kind of looks like Tipster. And I think it was like a reply to Bo Blacks, who's another #1 Tipster hater, but I was the #1 before him, by the way. And I just posted it and it was like, thank you, Clara. Now I've seen my ways and I'm now coming out as trans. That's the joke. He's that impressionable that he can be almost 40 and groomed into something else. That's the joke. Haha. It is funny. And it's funny because like just a couple of days ago, his own friends, his own community that he left the mean commentary bros for outed him as pan.
Remind me again what pan was. Is that the guys that beat off on?
They like
pans?
everybody. No,
Okay.
they like everybody.
Okay, I thought
everybody.
I was confusing them with the guys that are literally into kitchenware. Have you heard about these guys, Muda? I think Poe's Law posted videos of guys that were into this a few years back.
Dudes that fuck pans and shit?
Guys, they're pan fuckers. Like, I don't know what you call that. They're really into pots and pans, like kitchenware.
Poe posts a lot of things, so I'm not really sure. He posts a lot of things.
That's
a lot of shit.
That's a wild kink to have.
Like, yeah, imagine that's your thing. Imagine you're with your gal, you're at that like you've been going out for a while, and it's just hey babe, and you got the two fingers together. Would you mind if I brought out some cookware tonight?
Oh, and she's into it. She's like, hell
what
yeah.
What if she's into it? She's like, oh honey, I thought you'd never ask. Walks out with frying pans covering her tits.
She comes out with the KitchenAid shit. She's like, I got it, dude. The Frigidaire.
Yeah.
So yeah, he came like he didn't actually like come out with it, and it's funny. It's funny.
Maybe their sexual fetishes. They like to be hit in the head with frying pans.
Well, like horny man on the internet is horny. So like, what else is new?
That's always been so weird about that guy. It's like anytime I saw him like just interact with accounts and stuff, it's like any fucking a girl would post like a selfie and he's like there within like a second. Yeah. It's actually crazy. Like I couldn't even program like a fucking bot that would be quicker than him. It's actually wild.
This man has alerts set up like a madman to troll. Instead of trolling people with funny jokes, he's going and liking their posts and saying the creepiest, just the tips kind of stuff. Just the tip. That's what we'll call this segment, Jenna. Just the tip.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
A rousing game of just the tip.
What and like to go to another tip of the iceberg, there was some guy that was complaining about not being able to pay his rent. What is his name, Charles?
The Rent Man? I don't know.
Praise of Shadows. Is that it?
Oh, I love that guy. My lord,
I love that guy. He's so cool, bro.
This guy was a bozo. I saw this guy, as everybody knows, I'm something of a horror bastard. I love myself some horror pictures, and on my notes I have 2 of them written down to talk about later. That's the tease, Jenna. We're going to give them the tease, just the tip.
Yeah.
So we got, I'm into horror pictures, and of course YouTube will autoplay stuff, and it autoplayed this bozo's videos, and they reminded me the same kind of vibe that Quentin Reviews has, where he's talking about a topic, but he wants to veer off and talk about other topics. And he gets a little too... he pushes well through liberal and into lefty. And it's the sort of... where it becomes pushy and mean-spirited, where there's people that he clearly doesn't like. He's like, I hate Trump, and I don't like this stuff, and this guy's bad, and I'm good. And this is an evil symbol. And so, like, years ago, I was like, I don't want to ever watch this guy's videos again. Hit those 3 dots. So long, sucker, into the shadow realm. And then this week on my timeline on Twitter.com, everybody had to post clips of this friendly adventure guy. Oh, man, I hate this dude. Like, every clip I saw was worse than the last. And then our friend of the show, Bo Blacks, good friend, sweet Bo Blacks.
But I don't want to cut you off, but before I came into this, like, recording, I was watching one clip while I was taking a piss. It was like, he watched this movie, The Hills Have Eyes, and he was reviewing it. It was like, anyways, these inbred savages could represent the Native American or black people.
Yes.
Like, what the
there are racists. I know racists. I have seen racists say the most racist stuff in the world that was not anywhere near as racist as what Praise in the Shadows said.
The self-reporting. But he generalized, so he released a video. Bad. He released a video where he twisted it. And because as he does, and he went on this big he had a segment where
It
he
was
said
36 minutes.
all people from Appalachia are racist.
36 minutes he went after Wendigoon and anybody that Wendigoon liked that he was jealous of. So Mudahar was in there, Turkey Tom was in there. I think he even mentioned Shuon Head at one point, didn't he?
He did.
Yeah, he's like, yeah, she's a liberal, but she pretends to be, she pretends to be liberal, but she's really a conservative, right wing, all this. Like, he just went off. It's like, buddy, who, and he even mentioned this in the thing. There was a clip where Wendigoon had told somebody who had posted a meme about him, was like, who hurt you? Who did this to you? Why are you like this? And he tried to say that was some awful thing that Wendigoon said. It's like, no, buddy. That's just us saying, who hurt you? Who hurt you? Why are you so jealous? Why are you coping and seething this hard? It's jealousy, right? It's pure jealousy. He sees this young dude who people really love, who people really like, who's a friendly guy, who nobody has a bad thing to say about, that isn't a crazy person. Literally, everyone I talk to is like, hey man, Wendigoon, that's a good dude. I like Wendigoon.
I don't know. And he also he went after Oompa too.
Yeah, he went after Oompa. It's like gun YouTuber Oompaville. I'm like, I don't even think
he said
guy.
Brandon Buckingham was a gun channel.
Yeah, Brandon Buckingham was a gun YouTuber. He called
he said that Oompaville was gun obsessed, which to be fair,
gun obsessed.
He is.
He said that Donut Operator did death content, which is the most gnarly name I've ever heard anything called before. If we could rename the podcast right now today, that's what I'd change it to, Muda. I want this to be the death content podcast, because that is so
Dude, the Donut Operator comparison was insane, because it's like, yeah, he'll cover death footage, and then it's like he shows, it's like Predator gets shot in the head. I'm like, man, maybe you should have picked a different example, because the Predator getting shot didn't make me elicit anything,
The entire world cheers when they see those clips of Predators getting what's coming to them. Like, if they had a YouTube channel that was just Predators shoved into wood chippers, and it's just like, whoa, every clip after clip of them just accidentally falling over a rail into a wood chipper. I think that'd be the most popular content ever on YouTube. T-Series and Mr. Beast couldn't compete. Everyone would love that content.
Yep.
So you did a response to him today?
Oh, yeah.
Did you call him a jabroni, a bozo, a clown?
One of the things that was really funny was, like, he comes in and he's like, well, all of Appalachia, like, most of the people in deep Appalachia, the white guys, are racist as fuck. And I'm like,
he called us racist. What the
I'm sitting over there, I'm like, what if I was to just say, bro, in Toronto, 99% of the Indian guys are racist as fuck. You really have to find which ones aren't. I'm like, if anybody else said that, it would be like, bro, the entire internet would shit itself. And I'm like, why is it that you are allowed to say some of the most, like, abhorrently fucking, like, weird shit like this? And think it's okay, because it's like, if the whole idea is to bring people together, why are we suddenly okay with shitting on one group of people? Like, it just doesn't, like... To me, I always find that in the public, when you do that, you're always just creating more division that just sticks together for generation upon generation. It's like, if you're going to stop being a fucking racist, and just stop it now and promote, like, more unity. I don't know. It sounds weird when I say it, but it's just, that's where my mindset truly comes into.
If I was to tell you that in my part of Appalachia, it was like as many ethnicities, and there's a lot of, like, mixed race couples here. Oh man, this Praise the Shadow is gonna lose his mind if he spent 5 minutes in a Walmart and saw how many older white people were pushing their grandkids.
But he's gonna twist it. He's literally gonna twist it into those white people have fetishes.
Language. He's gonna use slurs and things.
I feel like those people who are saying
mutants.
things like that hate. It feels like they hate interracial more than...
He's invented some evil, like, this person in his mind that he's constructed that Wendigoon is, and everyone Wendigoon interacts with. Like, when he said Turkey Tom years ago used the N-word. Well, Turkey Tom does a lot of edgy humor. I don't know if Turkey Tom's used the N-word today.
He was, like, 16 years old.
Yeah. Like, whatever,
like,
man. Like, a 16-year-old on the internet said the N-word. Whoa, buddy, at the end of the
I think
world.
that's kind of the downside to having success pretty young is you're gonna go back and go, oh,
Yeah.
but at some point, and I think this is something a lot of people have embraced over time.
One day, the
Is
Logan Paul and the other Paul
well,
brother,
no, it
they're
doesn't.
gonna look
It gets
back at their whole life and go,
yeah.
ugh.
Well, you look back. You have to come to this point that no matter what you do and no matter what you say, people that are hell bent on not liking you and saying something that you're not. You can just go. You can take what they're saying and go, well, if that's what that means to you, then I guess I am cool.
Yeah, I am whatever you say I am.
And then they don't have anything to say about it, and
I
they'll just
like
be like,
calling them
"Ooh, she
homophobic and
admitted it."
racist and calling them Nazis. I like turning it back around on them because it's like in oh man, I forget which Freddy Krueger it is off the top of my head. It could be 4 or 5, Jenna. Those kind of run together. In one
They
of the
do.
Freddy Krueger movies, they hold up a mirror to Freddy Krueger and his own reflection kills him. I'm pretty sure it's the one with the dream child. I want to say that's 5.
Those movies really do run together.
Yeah,
Now that you guys
I'm
mention
saying,
it.
I'm saying 4, 5, and 6 run together so much because it feels like they're sort of a trilogy. Like it goes from your Dream Warriors. Everybody remembers that one. The one after that, I think that's the Dream Child.
That's when it just really got to slop.
Yeah, 4,
Yeah.
5, and 6 were.
Yeah,
The
like
final
after
nightmare
3,
I
it
remember
was
is
just
one in that
slop.
big house where like the guy has he's got the power glove and plays Nintendo and kills a guy.
I did like Freddy versus Jason though, because like Freddy was just like a big bully to poor Jason, and
You know
then
he was
you're
Rey
just like,
Mysterio?
oh,
Rey
I love
Mysterio
Jason
played,
X because
Fred.
Jason X took place in space, and that made it awesome.
Yeah, Jason X was hilarious. They understood.
Yeah,
They
Jason X was
understood the
funny.
assignment. When that girl in the sleeping bag, when he goes over and picks one up and starts beating her against the other one against the tree, that's great. That's exactly what you expect Jason to do.
Okay, Jason. Listen, when I see Jason X in space, I already know that it's just slop. Like, that's why I go and watch it.
You should watch the
You
the
don't
worst
like
one.
okay. You okay, but like to be fair, we don't always like any horror slop that comes our way.
The worst one has to be the one with the
That
psychic
is
girl,
true.
where it was Jason versus a fake Carrie. I hated that one. I thought that one sucked. I thought she was terrible because we hit the high of part 6 where they finally understood. Oh, people have fun and laugh at these movies, so we should maybe be a little more tongue in cheek and just a little more over the top. And that's what they did. They went.
Well,
for
yeah,
it.
you gotta go the Evil Dead route.
Yeah.
At that point,
And then
you just
part
have to
7,
go
the next
complete
one.
bloodfest slop. It's beautiful.
If I'm remembering my Friday the 13th right off the top of my head, I've been up for a long time, ladies and gentlemen, a long time. The Friday the 13th, part 7 is the psychic girl. 8 was the one where he goes to Manhattan. Also not great. That is not the top tier of that franchise. The one where he goes to hell, also not good. There's a lot of weird stuff in that one.
Yeah, Jason Goes to Hell.
The something about those later sequels, they get so weird. I don't know what it was.
Almost like they're just like, animating the dead corpse of a character that probably should have died off a long time ago.
Oh, I watched the Ghostbusters, the new Ghostbusters. So this is the second of the language I'm about to use feels retarded.
Okay.
The second of the reboot series of Ghostbuster movies. So they had the Lady Ghostbusters that sucked. Nobody wanted that one. Afterlife was the one with the kids. It was very sappy and corny and like a little too
Stranger
sentimental.
Things.
Very
Trying to be Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that one was also, I felt, a misfire. This one I felt got closer to what I wanted from a Ghostbusters.
But
there was some weirdness in there. Like they wanted to do like this lesbian ghost romance thing, and I feel like they dropped the ball because it come out of nowhere. Like it surprised me. I was like, if that's where they wanted to go, they could have had them holding hands or something like earlier. Because she just out of nowhere decides, oh, it'd be great if we could like interact with one another. Well, actually, I could turn myself into a ghost for 2 minutes. And then she goes and turns herself into a ghost, and then she says boo to the ghost, and she says it in a way that was way more flirtatious than anything they had said to each other before that, and just took me completely out of the movie. I went, "Oh, that's..."
They didn't set up for that character like
No, I thought
character.
they were just really good friends that played chess together, and she was a ghost.
Like,
It's
to be
it's my
honest,
ghost buddy.
could you read like the language?
Jenna, you're saying that I don't understand social cues? Is that what you're trying to say?
I'm saying it could be a possibility here on the internet. Like, for fuck's
I don't know
sake.
if I'm ever gonna watch it again, but if time will tell. Like I've watched the Ghostbusters and Ghostbusters 2 countless times throughout my life. These last 3 Ghostbuster movies, I feel like were one and done movies where it was more of a chore
Why don't
to
you
watch.
why don't you do a better Praise of Shadows channel?
I could. I've written some stuff for some other people about horror franchises. I felt pretty good about. I felt pretty good about my writing for horror stuff.
Then why don't you do
I
it?
think I'd rather actually just make horror pictures and do that sort of stuff. When I see certain horror pictures, I go, that's a great idea. I would like to make one of those. Like the One Cut of the Dead was one like that. The one I watched this week as well, the Late Night with the Devil. I thought that was a fun idea.
Oh, that movie was great.
That
Fun
was
idea,
so good.
great
You fell
execution
asleep
of
the
the
very first
premise.
time,
I
though.
thought they nailed it. Even the ending when things got real weird, loved it.
That
I
was a
thought that was
movie.
fantastic.
That was a movie that Mudahar fell asleep.
The
And I'm
skeptic
the one.
guy.
I did not fall asleep on that movie. Get out of here.
I'm the one who usually falls asleep. I'm the sleeper.
I was blinking a little too much. Okay, like get the
out.
fuck out of here. Yeah,
You
it was
were
pretty
fucking out.
Yo,
Yeah, it was
it's a
gone.
mild
God.
spoiler for people that haven't seen the movie. It's a good movie.
It's a great movie. It's a good tone. You know why the movie's good?
When the skeptic guy
Tone.
falls to his knees and like pledges himself to Satan, that
Yep.
was the biggest laugh I've had watching the
was
movie in
funny.
a long time.
But it was like
it
the
was
whole
so good.
tone, the whole weird ass tone of the movie is what got me. Like, if you don't set the tone right away, then nobody's gonna really.
The 70s.
Like,
70s was such an oddball time.
No, but
And
it
late
had
night
like
shows-
the eerie. It had like the eerie.
It had a vibe, an atmosphere.
Yeah, like the atmosphere was something else, and it wasn't just like the 70s. There was something like
The slow build of it, I feel like there was a build of it, like you could distinctly see first act, second act, third act, and they had the your prologue, epilogue, and your denouement, whatever you want to call that. Like you could clearly
all I can
see
say about that
the setup,
movie
the structure.
was to let's back up Genza alt right. We'll just say with this movie, what's his name was right.
What's his name?
Mr. Why can't I think of his name right now? Infowars.
Oh, Alex Jones? Yeah.
Alex Jones was totally right, guys. Movie.
Yeah. The devil is real, Mudahar. Here's some ordinary gamers, Mudahar.
No, it's a Bohemian Grove.
I got the photographs. I got the documents. We've seen the devil, and he is real. Interdimensional beings.
You
have come to this world.
didn't get that. You didn't get that reference because you didn't know about the whole Bohemian Grove thing.
Bohemian Grove. Let's talk about Bohemian Grove, all right? I've heard about Bohemian Grove.
No, not you.
What, me?
Yeah, you didn't know. You're like, I don't get it.
I knew about the Bohemian Grove.
You don't know about Moloch?
Then why did you let me explain?
All my homies.
I wanted you to
burn
feel
effigies
nice
of
and
Moloch.
cool.
So Norman Lear on his podcast talked about going to Bohemian Grove just casually, just like, I went to Bohemian Grove. And I immediately, like, because that's the kind of podcast I like to listen to, is 96-year-old film producer podcasts, where he talks about, or TV producer podcasts, where he talks about all his projects and has interviews with people. And when he mentioned Bohemian Grove, I feel like I stopped what I was doing and just tuned completely in. It was like, excuse me, what? And his description of it was that it was like an artist retreat where everybody was kind of like, yeah, we're just going to be dudes and hang out in the woods, and like we're going to drop the pretext of like all our money means something, and we're just going to hang out and be bros. And just like, hunt and fish and kind of hang out in the woods and sing songs.
do rituals.
Do rituals. He didn't
With the
mention any
owl god.
rituals. Yeah, they burn an effigy of the owl god, much like Burning Man does, much like the Wicker Man.
In robes, by the way.
Yeah. I saw
Yeah.
the Alex Jones infiltration video. I've watched that a couple of times. I'll probably watch that more than I did Ghostbusters Afterlife.
There's a couple of other infiltration videos too out there.
I would love to get famous enough to be invited myself, and that would be an interesting
You don't want to
experience.
go there. You don't want to go there, Charles.
Oh, I would want to go.
Well, hold
there.
on. Why wouldn't you want to go there?
Don't they do butt stuff to each other?
They do butt
Okay,
stuff.
that's a better reason than
Oh, hell yeah.
absolutely.
Buddha,
let's
let's
fucking
go.
do it.
No women allowed. Jenna,
Yeah,
you
we're
wouldn't
gonna
understand,
definitely punch
right?
back in there. Goddamn.
We're there.
Booze weekend.
That's the takeaway.
Bros night out.
The YouTube drama subreddit needs to take away from this that me and Mudahar are a couple of queers who want to go to Bohemian Grove.
Oh.
All right.
I mean, honestly, it's like fucking that board will find a way to twist anything, dude. It's like
Yeah.
you can't
It
even
doesn't
be.
matter.
I hope they take it and shove it right up my ass and twist it.
Ooh. Oh my.
Dude, it's like what? It's like
Disavow
anytime,
myself
dude.
and everything.
Even
I
when it
just
comes to
said.
this, it's like you come out to dude. It's like everyone's a little gay inside. Come on now.
Yeah.
Let's not pretend.
It's not
Ask
gay, but
Tipster. Ask Tipster. He knew the whole time.
he's a lot gay though.
Yeah, he's dude. I actually do just feel so bad that he got
The
outed without him
pansexual
like
thing,
having
like
the
saying
ability.
that.
And his own
like that-
friends.
Oh,
By
dude,
his
own
own-
homies,
It's
bro.
He
my
was
understanding
trying-
that that means that you're into dudes, you're into ladies,
Everybody.
you're into
Yeah, everyone.
like
So
intersex stuff,
what
like
ended up
the
happening?
anything.
His own friends, Charles, his own friends outed him because Nicholas Diorio had some leaks
Mm.
of some tipster DM leaks that he's been kind of sprinkling and teasing. I just to fuck with him, because it's like tipster doesn't know what's going to come out about him.
Mhm.
So they wanted to get in front of it so hard that his own friends outed him.
That's so
Thinking-
fucking. That's so fucked up, bro.
Thinking
damn.
and Diorio didn't even have DMs with him coming out his pan. He didn't even have those in his possession. Like, they were doing the work for him. Like, you can't make this shit up.
Yeah.
This is like the big brains that we're dealing with. But
Yeah.
yeah, it doesn't matter what you say. It doesn't matter what you do.
Well, the thing about it too is like sometimes people gotta understand. Like if I'm like out there, like I like to play a game of chicken with people that I'm like researching because I'll just say something and then like, bro, the amount of stupidity that people will do, like the amount of stupid shit, the amount of like like sometimes a motherfucker will make a statement and I'm out there like literally playing the bluff.
Mhm.
Like, bro, I'll swear my favorite part of last year was like the whole completionist call because it's like, dude, we had literally like fucking just one IRS document, like one thing that we kind of hit him up with. I didn't even bring up anything else. Like, we just kind of, because me and Carl, we just kind of sat there. Like, I was like, all right, we should organize a call. We organize a call. He comes on, and it's just like, he starts going off. He just says shit, and I'm like, okay, sure, keep going, I guess. Like, it was like that episode of like Breaking Bad where it's like Jesse will just sit there. And like me and Carl are like the two FBI agents. We're like, we just want to talk, dude. Like, sure, go on. I mean, sing, I guess. I don't give a fuck.
Who's Hank and who's Gomi in that situation?
No, it's not Hank and Gomi. It's like it's the other two guys, the two FBI dudes. When they're talking about ricin, we're just like sitting there. We're like, we're just like listening in. I'm like, okay. Like it was just one of those things where go ahead.
It was so weird to see somebody go to such lengths to rather than just say, hey man, we messed up with this charity thing, I'm gonna talk to my guys and we're gonna get on it, rather than just say that and be done, he just went on and on and on about everything, and
that call
just
is
flabbergasted
probably just like that call honestly was like the worst thing to ever happen to his lawyer.
Oh.
Oh my god, dude. I was like, the funny thing is, like, that call almost didn't get recorded because like OBS got a little fucked up.
Classic.
So like, luckily he just, it's funny too because he kind of repeated himself because like the whole call was basically us like, all right, so anyways, could you summarize what happened? He just goes on again, doesn't even like reassess. I remember like because me and Carl were sitting there and I was like, oh, he's agreed to the call. And then it was like, oh, I'll need a couple hours, and I'm like, I need a couple hours too because I was at work, and I was just like, oh, if he's smart, like his lawyer's probably like, shut the fuck up. So
Nope.
we weren't even thinking a call was gonna happen, and then like all of a sudden he comes in, and I'm like, oh, okay, let's fucking go, I guess. Don't look a gift horse in the mouth,
I'm
huh?
curious where he
He
goes
he
from
did
here.
no, he did the whole like Wolf on Wall Street thing.
Yeah.
Could you say that again? Exactly. Like,
Literally, that's what I did, except he didn't continue off with like, all right, I get the fuck out of this Discord call.
fuck off my butt, have some lobster.
What? Where does that guy go from here? Like, does he just keep doing his YouTube thing?
I think he
full
just
steam
keeps
ahead?
doing it until he can't. I think it's
He's
just
been
like he had to.
streaming, and he
'Cause
uploaded it a
I
couple
don't know if
times, right?
people are like as receptive to him now, are they?
You know, I part of me is like I genuinely like I hate to say it, but it's like I just don't care so much about anybody. Like normally I'm normally like I wish the best for everyone, but in his situation, like when he started threatening like legal stuff, I'm like,
Yeah, he
all right,
shouldn't have done
motherfucker, I want you to like fucking burn because I hate you so. Like not like I want him to do fine career wise, obviously, but it's just like that whole like personal connection. It's like I just do not like anybody that's so like because we didn't do anything fucking wrong with him. Like that whole call, the reason I released it, I'm like, you guys have to listen to the last 30 minutes when I have to play fucking Tony Soprano's fucking psychiatrist with him. Like I have to fucking guide him through how to not get canceled. And I literally said, I'm like, listen, okay, it's not that big of a deal. Just you guys donate the fucking money. And he's like,
Yeah.
and then he's like, hey, you know, you guys are really gonna release this, and then we're like, yeah, we are. He's like, oh
Is there
fuck.
anything I can do? That was my favorite part of the call.
Yeah,
Is
there's the
there
one thing that the whole
God,
thing's about.
is
The
there
one
anything
thing.
I could do to make you not make a video about this?
No, we're gonna make a video. Like
Yeah.
it's gonna happen. Like it was just one of those things where I'm like, I don't know how to tell blood, but we're not stopping it. It's
I
you
don't
know,
think people realize how much people come to you with like, hey, this person's doing this, and this is just, there's some sussy shit going on, and
mhm.
people don't understand like your vetting process at
Oh,
all.
the vetting process for evidence is like fucking insane on our end because
Yeah.
it really is just like if we don't check our shit, if we don't like get it, if we don't do our proper vetting on all this stuff, then the egg that we have on our face is
Mhm.
just it's like because here's the thing, it's like and I discussed this with Steven, so Coffee's ill about it too. I'm like, there are stories where like we just sit on for like 4 months because nothing really happens, right? And it's like if something was to happen and we had egg on our face, our entire image and perception is dead right there. That's all people will remember. So sometimes it's like the Omnia Media story, right? Like we covered it. It wasn't like a huge main channel kind of thing. Like we didn't make a huge stink about it, but we kind of covered recently what was happening with that MCN, where like creators were just, you know, they weren't getting fucking paid on time, and in some cases, from what the people we talked to, they still aren't. Like their money is still basically in fucking holding. But the thing about it is, like, when we were first covering the story, me and Steven were like, okay, listen, if we make a video and the next week these guys hand out their money, right? A day before their legal contract ends, there's nothing wrong about that. It's just shitty, but it's not a fucking scam. So we're just kind of, and we even have to relay this to like the people we were working with because everyone wants us to like make a video or like talk about it. And I'm like, be objective and fair because I don't want to end up with egg on my face and like it's kind of on you guys working with some of these fucking idiots too. Like
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I'd love to talk to a lawyer and be like, well, what can we say? Can we call it a scheme? Can we call it a scam? What language can we use here? Because this, can we call it skullduggery?
I mean, the thing you got to understand about like anything law related is like usually when it comes to videos like this, I have a lawyer that like will do like we'll run it through lawyers ourselves that we hire, especially for this kind of stuff. And one of the things that I've always been told is even if you are 100% in the right, or like let's say that you crossed all your T's, dotted your I's, you're still gonna get sued. Like it's still gonna fucking happen. You know, because that's how the American legal system works. Like, even if you are 100% of the right, you can be sued. And usually, when you get sued, we just have like, we have money set aside for any potential legal kerfuffle. Like, I have insurance, like legal insurance. We had to restructure our financial apparatus for our company, because when you get sued, like let's say they sue your business, right? Like most YouTubers have an LLC, so they'll have like one business account tied to their LLC. If you get sued, they can basically sue you for everything in your fucking bank account. So let's say you had like $4 million. Well, that $4 million is like fucking sitting up there, and that's basically like the fucking the betting pot, right? Like that's what people go after. So we have to make like holding companies, operational companies. So holding companies is where we put our money into. Operations is like what we have for a day-to-day kind of thing. And we're just loaning between each other. But the thing is, we had to restructure everything. So if we do end up getting sued, whether it be by, you know, any party, like the completionist or fucking, I don't know, any big MCN, we have to make sure that we're not like, that our fucking money isn't going to be tied up in between a battleground and we can use it for lawyers and all that other fucking bullshit. I think most people don't tend to sue just because they find out, like, in the United States, suing somebody is mostly an intimidation tactic anyways. It's like, hey, this guy can't afford a lawsuit. Let's just fucking threaten his livelihood. But I've always kind of said this to anybody who threatens a lawsuit. I'm like, I can go fucking band for band. Like, I don't give a fuck, you know? Like, I made enough money that I can go fucking band to band with whatever legal team, Johnny Cochran, I don't give a fuck who you hire. We'll go. And then I straight up say, I'm like, because especially like in my cases, the people that try to sue me are from like the state of California, and I'm like, this state is in my fucking favor for a frivolous lawsuit. So you can fucking put $500,000 up into like, you know, in the air, but buddy, by the time I get to sue back, I will do everything I can to make you fucking suck cock the rest of your fucking life. I do not give a fuck. Like, I will make it my life's mission to take the money out of your fucking mouth. And then also your children's mouth. I am that fucking... I am like Destiny, okay? I'm a woman scorned at that point. Because it's like... The thing is, when these people threaten, like, the smaller creator... And I've talked to smaller creators about it, too. And it's like, they're afraid to say anything because... Again, like, bro, you threaten them with a lawsuit, your entire life is on the line. I'm not going to say Atozy is a smaller creator. Like, I don't want to say Atozy is a smaller creator like he is. And he's a pretty sizable guy. But when that BitBoy Ben douchebag was threatening him... It's like the guy was already having a kid on the way. Like you're ruining. You're in the process of life ruination when you're a scumbag individual, you know. So those kind of people, I have like no fucking chill in regards to. Like I will fucking go out of my way to destroy. And I think any creator of this size should absolutely fucking be doing that, because those kind of people, like, it's bad enough that you're fucking out there being a scumbag scammer in a lot of cases, but then the fucking audacity to fucking threaten livelihoods, like, who the fuck do you guys think you are, bro?
People thinking that you were panicked about it too. Like, there were people that thought when Completionist made his like response.
Oh my god,
like,
his response.
I had everybody messaging me. Like, oh, he's gonna sue Moonheart. I was like, okay,
so that response, okay, you had no idea. I was like, you know Tim Curry from like Home Alone when he does that smile?
Tim Curry,
bro, that's literally fucking me that night. Like, okay, so fucking Completionist releases this like fucking response. I think it's later in the night or whatever.
He's scowling and angry.
Yeah, he's scowling. He's threatening a suit. So I didn't watch it until I kind of got home. And then when I watched it, I had the fucking biggest smile on my face because he never showed a receipt. He never showed anything. It was like the most fucking chest-beating nonsense. And I remember, like, before I watched it, CoffeeZilla was congratulating me. He's like, bro, Carl, you and Muda take your victory laps. And I'm like, what are you talking about? I haven't seen this. We see it, and we're like, bro, this is... Carl wakes up in the middle of the night for me in Australia, and he's like, bro, what a fucking idiot. So the next day, it was like, I literally make my response the following day right after, and it is like the easiest... It's like handed to me on a silver platter, because it really showed me how stupid a lot of these gaming like mutuals that I had were. Like, as soon as he ends up getting fucked, he makes this response, and the mutual's like, see, this guy knows more. And I'm like, have you actually like watched it? There is no fucking receipt or anything. Like, this is like Logan Paul is making better responses, unironically. Like, I have to think when fucking FaZe K and Banks and Logan Paul and all these guys make responses. Not Banks, but any of these guys make a response. I have to kind of think when I watch through it with Completionist. It was like, bro, a fucking dude, like a newborn child could unironically make a better fucking response than what he did.
It's so bad.
Like, it was the worst fucking like showcase. And
People
the
were making
chest
it.
beating.
People were making it sound like he had like receipts and shit. So by the time we actually watched it, it was like,
I'm like
okay.
sitting there. I'm like, what?
Like,
I'm like, have you fucking like, have you? Or is there like a different video file that's like playing for me or you? Like, I don't understand.
Is this it? Like, is
What-
this it?
Well, when I saw some of the mutuals like saying that he had receipts, I'm like, oh man, I'm kind of, am I fucked? And then like I watch it, I'm like, oh, you guys
one
are
from like what?
brain
He had
dead.
the one from what, like 2013 or something like that.
He
Dude,
gets so
he
huff and
gives out his
puffy.
mom's like fucking information, and I'm sitting there like, I didn't ask for that. What the fuck? Like,
it was
I
really
wasn't
weird to
questioning
bring
that
up
his
his
mom
mom.
had Alzheimer's. I'm sure she
No, it's
did.
like we're like, that's the receipt. Like, and everybody on Twitter was like, "Wow, man, it just goes to show you just gotta wait for like both sides of the story." I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about, bro?" Like,
When I saw the mom's autopsy, I'm like, ain't nobody was asking for that. Who
Bro.
the fuck cared? I was like, dude, why you don't got to dig up your mom's fucking autopsy report to convince me? I'm more interested in the money.
That
I'm
was
sure she's got it.
so trying to go for like everybody's like gut right there. Like he thought he was little bro
Like,
thought he was doing
I
Built
looked
to
through his like
emotion.
description and I'm like, there is literally no fucking
Nothing,
receipt
no
here that was
links.
actually usable. Like, not a
Nothing.
single receipt that could have been used in any capacity. Like, unironically, the FaZe Clan guys, the fucking dudes that we covered for Save the Kids, were actually a million light years smarter than fucking Completionists. Like, this guy straight up could not give any information worth a damn. And so, like, when these people bring up, like, and this is the funny thing too, like, I don't want to sound like I'm shaming some of these creators, but like, all right, listen, Blood, I'm running companies, okay? I understand how fucking taxes, the Internal Revenue Service, fucking finance. I'm not an accountant by any imagination, but my April and March and May is fucking. Jen will know this. I am fucking on tax duty, okay? Like,
We can't do nothing.
no, like I'm fucking with my accountants for like fucking day. I'm with my CFO for like a month. Like, we're having a passionate date night pretty much every fucking day.
Yeah,
going
I'm like
over
totally.
stuff.
I'm totally getting like I'm getting neglected because like accounting.
Yeah,
I'm not neglected. But, you know,
it's
he's
like
busy.
it's like I'm sitting over here, I'm doing all this shit, and then like you get like fucking this wannabe gamer fucking idiot telling me about shit. I'm like, get the fuck out of here. You haven't ever worked in this scope, okay? And Gerard's he tries to fucking, big brother me, and I'm like, we both run operations, okay? I guess your dad runs your operation more than anything.
Yeah, pretty much.
But I'm
Cheers that
like,
way.
trust me, I know what I'm talking about in this situation, right? Like, I'm
You
not
know
an
what?
expert.
What I thought was funnier, like as far as like lawsuits are concerned, because you were just getting like these really like not really threats, and then I thought Max's was funnier.
Max was like the fucking dude. Max is an actual brain
That
dead
was
fuck.
the
Like,
funniest one ever, bro.
I think he might still even try to come back. I don't know. I don't know how you come back as
You
Max
know what?
then.
I thought it was really funny, like like the whole Keppel's release, and then he makes like a post on Patreon around the same time. I thought it was a little funny.
Yeah, the Keppel stuff was so funny though. Like, covering her stuff is
That was
because
a wild weekend.
I am like the Keppel stuff is so funny to me because like dealing with people in that camp that just will not watch the video. Like, the amount of people who like come up and it's like, how could you be against, unregistered, unlicensed medication? I'm like, homie.
So dog hair is
Most
not very
people-
healthy to inject in your. I mean,
Technically, it
you know,
was cat hair. We got to be right about our follicles,
They were
right?
doing cat hair.
there was cat hair inside
There was
some
a
of this
contaminant,
DIY
it
HRT.
seems.
There was contaminant because they're not made in a sterile field.
Yeah.
So it's
Like, you
it's the
can't.
difference between the way Jesse would put chili pepper in and the way Walter White would cook it.
Yeah.
I guess that's kind of like a good comparison in the sense too, is because, okay, look, my thing has always been this, right? Like, for an adult, if you're 18 plus, like, fucking take whatever you want. But even in that case, it's like, I'd rather you get your hormones from like a clean laboratory, right? Or something.
Yeah.
The one that I brought up was just like fucking Brazilian. They had Loli on the fucking box.
Yep.
Like, keep out of reach of parents. And I'm like,
Yeah.
listen, if there's any fucking ammunition that you can give to like Candace Owens or Ben Shapiro, who are very much against your cause, this is it. Like, this is the fucking golden ticket, dude. This is what they're gonna show.
They got a golden ticket.
Yeah. So like,
Got
I'm
a
sitting over
golden
there.
ticket.
And the other thing is, talking to like every medical professional that I've been, it's like, listen, we all can unanimously agree, homebrewed pharmaceuticals is never an okay. And it's like the same thing that I would say for any other type of pharmaceutical. The funniest criticism that I heard from that was like, one of the people was like, I guess I need to consult a doctor before I use Tylenol. And I'm like, well, first off, the Tylenol you buy in a store, that's FDA approved.
Yeah.
You know, like that's been going. And they're like, does the FDA check every pill? I'm like, no, but they're stringent enough that their random searches keeps everyone on their fucking toes. So no, I'm not a fucking idiot.
People were trying to like, when I had said like it's illicit, they're like, it's not illicit. I was like,
It's
by
made in a
definition,
bathtub.
if by definition it's illicit, because you know that's actually a pretty good comparison. Would you rather have meth made in Jesse Pinkman's kitchen by Pete who's in Badger, or would you rather have it
Combo.
made and would you rather have it made in Gus Fring's underground sterile lab where they keep everything sterile, like to the point where Walter White has to obsess over a fly? Okay, like which would you rather? Because there's a big difference. There's a big difference when you make something and you can't, you know, you cannot, and when it's not regulated,
Counterpoint.
it's when it's not
locally-
regulated and it's not overlooked by a doctor. And I'm so fucking sick and tired of a lot of doctors don't really know about HRT. So are you saying that you know more than they do?
Counterpoint.
Yeah, it's one of
locally
those-
sourced.
That's
artisanal,
wild to me.
Handcrafted. Like all the stupid things that hippies put on their wares at flea markets. That's the stuff that they're selling as drugs. No thanks. Like that's
Here's
a bad
your hormone
idea. I
swap.
wouldn't take Tylenol from a guy. Hey, I made these Tylenols in my bathtub. They're
Even if
pretty
it's
good.
not made in a bathtub,
Keep out
per
of
se,
reach of.
I don't
I'm
want it. I
picturing-
don't know how it's made. I
Jenna,
don't want it.
you remember
Don't
the
put that in
episode
your
of The
body.
Simpsons where Homer became the beer baron? That's where
Yeah.
they're making.
Remember
they're the
when he was the
HRT
sugar?
baron.
Remember when he was the sugar man?
Yeah, that's what it
And
is.
remember,
He's got
it's
his
like
sugar
there's a
outside.
there's a nail in my bag of sugar. It's like you got lucky.
Yeah,
You know?
that's a prize.
Yeah, you seriously, you don't
And there's
want
a
it. You don't
Englishman
fucking
trying
want
to
it.
steal all his sugar for his tea. That's
Yep.
what this is. That's exactly what this is. And this is. I think this might be the end. I think we may have reached the end of the podcast, Jenna. Jenna,
Yeah.
do you have anything to plug? What's Jenna up to?
No,
Where
I
can
don't
we
have
find
anything to
Jenna?
plug.
Dojen's,
I
Twitter,
don't have anything to plug right now.
Instagram, TikTok. Where you
Yeah, I
at?
don't really use my Instagram, so.
Nobody
you know.
likes Instagram. Instagram's like
It's too much maintenance. I don't like it.
Mudahar, where can we find you? Some Ordinary Gamers.
Absolutely, right on YouTube.
We can find him everywhere. He's doing lots of things, exposing schemes, talking video games. I work in memes and meme accessories. It's Meme Bastard. You can find me. I'm everywhere. I think we're done. I think it's the end of the podcast, Jenna. We did it. We did it. We did it.
We did it!
Thanks, Mother.
Yay!
Yay,
It's
bear!
a podcast.
Yay! Okay, stop.
Yay!
All right.
Stop
Let me
that
export
recording
this.
and then stop